Welcome to Guria Top Thinking. Today, we are diving deep into that one hidden skill that's behind so much of life's success: emotional intelligence. So we're going to explore the 6 definitive signs of a high EQ. And it's not just about being book smart, it's really about how you understand and manage emotions, not just in yourself, but in other people too. And this ability, well, it's a really powerful predictor of success. We're going to explore it through a simple inside-out framework, which means we're going to start with the skills you use to manage yourself first. Okay, so our journey into EQ kicks off with this first cluster of skills: personal competence. This is the inside part of our inside-out framework. I mean, it makes sense, right? Before you can effectively manage relationships with anyone else, you have to master your own internal world first. This section covers the first 3 signs of high EQ. So, the first and honestly the most foundational sign of high EQ is a real mastery of self-awareness. Think of this as your internal compass, the key to understanding what makes you tick. And this is so much deeper than just knowing you're in a bad mode. It's about treating your feelings like data. You know that knot in your stomach? It isn't random, it's a signal. High EQ means you're not just feeling the emotions, you're actually observing them without judgment and figuring out what they're trying to tell you. The second sign is disciplined self-regulation. So once you're aware of what you're feeling, the next, and this is a crucial step, is managing those emotions constructively. This slide really gets to the heart of self-regulation, the pause. It's that critical moment between feeling an emotion and actually acting on it. And it's right here where you can see the huge difference between high and low EQ. People with high EQ have totally mastered this pause. They create that little bit of space to think, which prevents an emotional hijack. So instead of a knee-jerk reaction, they choose a measured response. That is self-regulation in action. It's controlling those impulses, so your emotions aren't the ones making the decisions for you. And that leads us to our third sign of personal competence: intrinsic motivation. This is all about understanding what truly drives you from the inside out. So this isn't about chasing a bonus or getting a promotion. People with high EQ are really propelled by something deeper, a connection to their values and a genuine interest in what they're doing. This inner engine is what fuels the persistence and the optimism you need to follow through, especially when things get tough. All right, now that we've covered the internal foundation, let's see how this all builds into our social skills. And that brings us to our second cluster: social competence. Once you have that strong internal foundation of self-awareness, regulation, and motivation, you can now effectively turn your attention outward. This is where we learn to navigate the social world, and it covers our next 2 big signs of high EQ. The fourth sign of high EQ is what we call perceptive social acuity, or to put it more simply, empathy. This is like your interpersonal radar, that ability to accurately read social situations and really understand the feelings of other people. What this really comes down to is that people with high EQ hear what isn't being said. They pick up on that little disconnect when a coworker says, "I'm fine," but their shoulders are all tense and their smile never quite reaches their eyes. This ability to read the emotional undercurrent is exactly what builds genuine connection and trust. And our fifth sign is constructive conflict navigation. Let's be real, conflict is inevitable, but people with high EQ see it not as a battle that has to be won, but as an opportunity for real mutual understanding. Because they've mastered self-regulation, they can stay calm, and because they have that empathy, they can genuinely listen to the other side. Ultimately, it's about moving away from a win-lose mindset and moving toward a dialogue that actually preserves and sometimes even strengthens the relationship. So where does all this lead? Well, when all 5 of these skills work together, in concert, they produce the ultimate results of high EQ, which we can think of as our 6th and final sign: high emotional resilience. Resilience is that ability to bounce back from adversity, and it is built directly on the foundation of the other 5 signs that we've just talked about. This table shows you exactly how it all connects. Your self-awareness, that helps you register the real impact of a setback. Your self-regulation, it stops you from totally panicking. Your motivation provides that why to keep going. See, resilience isn't some magical trait you're born with. It's the powerful outcome of a fully developed emotional intelligence system. So, how can you build these skills? Well, the best part about EQ is that it is not fixed. It's a muscle you can strengthen with practice, and here are a few really actionable ways you can start. Starting with just one of these practices can create this amazing positive feedback loop for your entire emotional system. Keeping a journal, for instance, helps you spot your triggers over time. And practicing active listening, I mean truly hearing someone without just planning your reply, that's one of the best workouts you can do for your empathy muscles. So take a second and reflect. Which of these EQ signs is already your superpower, and which one is your next challenge? Just asking yourself that question is the very first step on your journey. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer from Guria Top Thinking. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights on how to think better.